What's up guys, TheDevildogGamer here. Today is finally the day I get to show you my gameplay footage from 6 days in Fallujah. As some of you know, and a few of you might not actually know, I'm a veteran of the Iraq War. I personally fought in the Battle of Ramadi. A lot of my squad leaders during that time were actually veterans of the Battle of Fallujah, which this game covers. And as someone who has done a lot of house-to-house fighting in Iraq with insurgents, been on the streets, gunfights in the streets, this game recreates that experience insanely. This game stresses me out to play like no game has ever done before. Before we get more into it, I do want to mention that this is a pre-release build. This is not the final build of the game, but I do also want to mention, because I'm still shocked by this. I've tested this game a while ago, and like I do with any developer pre-test, I get pretty, I let them know what's wrong with the game, and I let them know things I didn't like about this game. They fixed everything. The developers cared so much, and these were not easy fixes. They fixed everything. These developers were the first ones to ever take anything I said when I got to play a game first and actually do it. Out of the thousands of games I've tested with developers, this is the first one that has actually done it. This is why you should get behind the game, because they actually care. This game really captures the brutality and the feel of just house-to-house, street-to-street fighting that the Iraq War offered. Enemies will see you, and they will suppress and continue to suppress positions that you're at. They will flank, they will wait, they will ambush, they will hide, they will run from you. The AI is smart and brutal. To be honest, this mission, I have never finished solo. I've played it probably 200 times. I died every single time. The enemy will even see another enemy suppressing your position and join in. They won't know that you're there. They just see another enemy shooting at that position, and they will join in. You can shoot through certain walls. You can definitely shoot through wood doors and anything that's wooden, and it actually destroys the door here and there. When you peek into windows, you can't see inside the house. It's dark inside the house. Your eyes haven't adjusted to it. So enemies inside buildings can see you, but you can barely see them. You might see a muzzle flash. You might just start getting shot at randomly. It is brutal. It recreates that fear of trying to get into buildings that you don't know what they are, and where the enemy is. You can't see them. They're hiding. They're waiting for you, and it's just absolutely brutal. Now for this gameplay, I am particularly playing only one mission. It's only one mission, but as you remember, everything about this is procedurally generated. Every time I restart the mission, the entire layout of everything changes, where enemies are, what buildings are around. It never looks the same twice at all. So you go into it with a completely fresh experience. It's never the same. Sometimes there's a mortar crew engaging you. Sometimes there's RPG gunners. There might be snipers. Oh wait, that building that you assaulted last round, it's not the same building. The interiors are also procedurally generated, where the enemies can even put up bookcases in front of doors. So you kick in a door, there's a bookcase suddenly blocking your way. They'll set up little mouse holes to shoot through inside of buildings at you, or breakout holes in the ceiling. So as you're clearing the bottom floor of a room, they're on the roof shooting down through these little holes at you. Everything that I experienced in Iraq is here. This is what it was like going into these buildings. It was chaos. Every time you go into a building in this game, it is absolute chaos. And I know some people are going to ask about weapon customization. I didn't really see any weapons customization because it's only just this mission specifically. But this was early war Iraq. It's ACOGs if you were lucky to get an ACOG, iron sights. Nobody had suppressors. There weren't red dots, things like that. It was a lot of hodgepodge of gear and weapon systems. So it was mainly ACOGs or looking over the ACOG to engage stuff at close range. I've gotten days of entertainment out of just this one mission. The replayability with the procedural generation and the way the AI plays just shows that you're going to be able to get so much out of this game. I didn't even get to play co-op, and I'm not even playing with my friends, and all I'm doing is just constantly redoing the same mission that looks different every single time. I can't wait to start rolling through the streets of Fallujah with my buddies, trying to survive this onslaught of insurgents. I feel like they've done a really good job of recreating the feel of battling through Iraq. There was actually an IED that went off from a vehicle-borne IED that caught me off guard because it's something I wasn't expecting, and actually made me kind of nervous because I was like, well, now I'm gonna have to look at every piece of trash a little more differently. But the chaos of not knowing where people are, the threat you're going to encounter when you get into a building, not being able to see into that building, and just being the first person to go through that door. I mean, they capture the feeling of that, like the chaos, the tenseness of just standing outside of a door, kind of peeking it a little bit and being like, I have no idea what's in there, but I am going to be the first person to find out. This makes me even more excited to try out the story mode, because one of the things that they're going to do with this is they recreate the stories in-game from people who are actually in Fallujah and what they experienced themselves. Because, you know, every time you talk to a Fallujah vet, there's always an insane story. Just the bravery, the absolute unknown, the chaos that came along with this crazy, you know, urban battle, the largest one since Hue City in Vietnam, that it makes me want to see what other people experience and get to play it myself to kind of go through what they experienced also. I'm completely hyped for this game. Like, playing this takes me 17 years into the past. Just it makes me feel like I'm back on the streets, this young kid who thought he was invincible and got a real quick eye-opening into the way the world actually is. It's here in a game form, man. Honestly, if you like any mill sim, if you are someone who you know wants to know more about the Iraq War, loves mill sims, tactical shooters, this is going to be right up your alley. I promise you that. This is going to be something that a lot of you are going to get into pretty freaking hard, especially if you're into the room clearing, the tactical stuff. You are really going to enjoy this. This is not all Gucci gear and guns, night vision, flashbangs, none of that stuff. Like, you are going in that room, and unfortunately the first thing coming around the corner is yourself, and there are people waiting in there to kill you, and they're smart, and they have booby traps and all kinds of nice little things set up for you inside, and all they're waiting for you to do is come through that door. This is that game, man. This is just everything I wanted it to be. It's absolutely worth the wait, and I think a lot of people are going to be really surprised at how awesome this game actually is. I know people were worried. I've told you guys multiple times, do not worry about this game. It's everything you think it's going to be, and it's definitely, and this is just the start. This is just the start. They will continue with this game and create all kinds of stuff. I mean, oh, could you imagine the things they could do with this as their base? Like, it is absolutely that good. But now I want to know what you guys think about the gameplay that you've seen. I know it was only a little bit of new gameplay, unfortunately, but more will be coming in the future. Definitely a lot more gameplay, live commentaries, maybe live streams in the future. There's a lot, you know, this game is definitely on its way to getting in your hands. And, you know, that means more of me being able to show it to you, more of you getting to see certain things in it, and I think it's going to be a really, really cool thing that we get to dive into, and hopefully, you know, a lot of you get to join me on the streets of Fallujah to experience my PTSD in firsthand. But I really want to know what you guys think about the gameplay. Is this something you're going to get behind? Are you excited for it? Are you ready? Let me know down in the comments below. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.